Hi folks, okay, now in this video we're going to do 5 takes on what I hope Adams does in the off season and even before possibly. Coming up. Alright, shout out goes to Black LGS. He asked me to do 5 main takes on Adams. I think 5 to 10 you might have asked me. One of you did. I didn't mark it, but I did 5, okay? Because 10 just gets a little too long and depends. Sometimes a video needs 10, but this one I figure 5 would cover it. And I'll tell you what, guys, I think a lot of us now are at the point that we're really believing in Kevyn Adams. I mean, we have to be. Look at this team now, you know? I don't think this team under Botterill would be doing this, and I didn't hate Botterill. I'll put that right out there right away, or Murray, really. You know, Murray, just his personality was as dry as sandpaper, but Botterill just... You know what I didn't like about Botterill, believe it or not? That he was still with the Penguins, and before they finished their Stanley Cup playoff, he left to come to Buffalo, which I didn't like. I didn't like that about him. That's one of those things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, believe it or not. Call me nuts. I didn't like that. I think you should stick it out until the season's over, then you make that decision, and just tell them, I'll talk to you when our playoff run's over, you know? But, anyway, 5 main takes on Adams. So, I got 5 I came up with, and I'm sure you guys have other ones, but these are ones that I think are really important. Let's get going on it. All right, number 5, and you'll see a clip below. I got be aggressive in the off season and the draft. Okay, we got to be more aggressive this offseason. We can't stay pat and just say, okay, we're building the team. No, we got to be aggressive with free agency, trading, and the draft. If there's a possible trade, guys, that comes up in the draft, we have to go for it. We do, whether it be a goaltender, whatever it is. Whatever it is. We need to be realistic about our current needs too, not just our future. We're at the point now in our development, I believe we can address the current needs. We don't have to say, no, we're building. No, we're building. I think we're a little past that now because we got all young studs coming in again next year, as we know. And, you know, we got UPL coming up, Owen Power. I mean, these guys are coming up. And, you know, of course, Peterka and Quinn will be coming up too. So we got four young guys, I believe, will all be regulars next year. And honestly, I think if we don't address some needs, it shows a bad thing to the kids too, though. You've got to let the kids know you got their back, okay? And you got to get out there and you got to be aggressive and you got to pitch with the big boys and you got to spend a little more if you have to pry them over. I don't believe anymore that Buffalo's on everybody's hate and no trade list or whatever. I don't buy it no more, guys. So if I see that in videos, I just roll my eyes. Not the direction this franchise is going now. No way. So number 5 is that for me. Number 4, get Owen Power signed as the main off-season signing. We have to get Owen Power signed, okay? We have to get him signed, or else then all the rumors are going to be circulating. And God, if I hear Cal Peterson's name one more time, give me a break, honestly. I could care less about Cal Peterson. Jesus. You know, I don't even care we lost that guy. You know, who cares? But a guy like Owen Power, we got to get him locked in. We do. We got to get him signed. I don't care if he plays or not. We got to get him signed. I would risk Owen Power giving him just a few games and getting him locked into a contract. Absolutely. You know, that's the start of it all. So we got to get Owen Power signed. Not really in the offseason. I would even do it before if we can. And I don't care if he plays 5 games. I could care less. It doesn't matter if we burn a year of his entry, guys. Let's lock the kid in and get him feeling like part of right away and show him some security that say, hey, see, we're not going to be cheap and just try to burn. I know I've said it before. I don't want to lose the entry-level years. I don't. But this is a must now, especially after what's just happened with Devin Levi. We got to get this guy locked in, okay, ASAP. So getting Power signed, for me, comes in next at number 4. And these are all guys, you can throw them any angle you want. But number 1 is not negotiable for me, number 1. Number 3, bit of a curveball at you. I'd promote Mike Peca up to the big team as an assistant. I'd like to see Peca behind that bench. I'd like to see his aura behind that bench. All of it. I'd like the young kids to be listening to him when he's talking in their ears. All of that. I think that alone would solve some of our physical issues on the team. Just having him there would help. It would help. You know, it really would. I think Mike Peca, having him there would feel good for me as a fan just to see Peca involved with the Sabres that way, just there, you know, like, God, Mike Peca's back. That would feel really good. I know he's back in the organization. It's not the same thing. I want to see him behind our bench, not the Amherst. I want to see him behind our bench. So get Mike Peca back, get him, promote him up to the bigs and as an assistant coach, I think. You can always add another assistant, right? Doesn't matter. I mean, get him up there, and I think his presence will be felt by our entire dressing room, really. So that's what I got as number 3. Number 2, no surprise here, guys. I got veteran goaltender as a must. I mean, it's a must this offseason. If we're going to do anything, if we're going to have any kind of good start next year, we have to stabilize the net. We do. We just have to stabilize the net. If we don't stabilize the net, we're going to be in trouble next year right from the get-go. And we're going to be disappointed because we didn't address this issue. This is something we got to address in the offseason. And I don't care if the guy's 26, 27. It doesn't matter to me, really. As long as he has experience, preferably playoff experience, and even if he could have a Stanley Cup ring would even be even greater. But as long as we get a goalie between, I would say, 26, 27 to 34, 35, 36, around there, we can handle that. We can handle that. And I wouldn't care so much about the cap hit because we're going to be okay. And the truth is, you have to spend money on goaltending. You can't get away with, you know, if you're going to get a goalie in this team that costs money, well, you're believing in that goalie. You know, there's just no way around it after. So I would, that for me is one of the priorities on this team, guys. Without a doubt, the veteran goaltending has to come in and mentor UPL and Portillo if need be. If Portillo, now we can hope this year that Portillo gets signed, right? We'll have to see the offseason what happens there. We're going to have to see what Portillo does after that tournament's over. Portillo might sign his entry level right away after that tournament's done. And they're playing tonight, right? So, or this afternoon, which is soon. Okay, number 1. I bet you haven't guessed what I'm going to put there, guys. We need more toughness as the number 1 priority this offseason. Number 1, over everything. We got to get this team tougher. If this team would have been tougher this year, we might be staring at a playoff spot. You never know. You know, we got to get tougher. And this is one of those things that it just, I told you, and it still drives me crazy. And I know the boys are playing well. They're doing well. And I know Olofsson's out of his rut now and all this, but God damn, I mean, if we could have just been tougher this year, I would have liked to know what that might have done in some games that we blew down the ride, down the stretch, you know, geez. But it really doesn't matter because I'm thrilled with what I see now. That's what's important, is what is happening now. And the team right now, guys, is looking amazing, as you know. I mean, we are in every single game, it feels like now. Every game. I don't see the Sabres out of any game now. But if we had I would love to go after somebody like Matt Martin on the Islanders. If the Sabres could go after that hitting machine, a guy like that, I'd be very open-minded to it. Or a guy like Dustin Brown. You know, I know he's older. I know he's at the tail end of his career, but bring him in as a mentor for the young kids too. I'd be open-minded to that too. There's guys out there that can make a big difference for our team. A big difference. You know, but I want them, if we're going to go after those kind of vets, those gritty type of veterans, make sure you get them for, like, commit them to 3 years or something. You know, get them in. I don't know. I'd have to check their contracts, some of these guys. But I'd be thrilled if we just got some toughness in this lineup. And next year, I'm just laughing at some games, just how we're playing physically with some teams, you know. Because that's going to make a world of difference, guys, for next year's team. I'll tell you right now. Yes, the kids are up and coming. Yes, there's a lot of talent. Yes, we have tons of first rounders. Yes, we're moving into the right direction, but we're not tough enough. And this is one of those issues that will kill a season. If we miss the playoffs by 1 point next year, we're going to be bitching that if we're dead last in hits again, that's why. I guarantee it. That we just sat on the obvious, didn't resolve the issue, and here we are again, frustrated as hell again. All right, but let's hope that this offseason just goes the way it goes, the way the team's going right now. Let's hope the momentum just keeps going like this forward, and we'll see what Adams does. I don't think Adams is that dumb not to know what I'm talking about anyway. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.